glad you are. That name's not familiar to me.
He lost his, I think, daughter, and he talked a fair amount about grief.
I should imagine.
So I guess we weren't there at the same time.
We're in the same hallowed ground, so. Meg, I co-hostified you, so you have power now.
Oh, Rabbi, I can't, my heart is...
You're first one in, so that's an honor you get.
Do I need to do anything?
Nah.
Oh, good.
If you do notice somebody joins the meeting before I notice they join the meeting, if you let them in,
Oh, okay. I can do that.
that's the main job. Uh-oh.
All right, I can do that. Rabbi, you don't know how helpful this service and you have been to me.
Well, I'm glad to hear if you want to tell me.
Well, I don't know really how to explain all the things. It's just you have a way of helping us figure out how to live a good life.
You would think it would be natural, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. But so many things get screwed up along the way.
Well, I appreciate that. That's what
And
I'm
I've
doing.
also found the group validates me, which is something I haven't had much of recently.
I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm glad to hear that, both at the same time.
I got it.
Yeah, that's it's strange that we should all need. It's strange that we don't naturally get validated, and we have to seek it. Like you would think you don't have to. Well, it goes with a lot of things. Like you wouldn't think you'd have to go on vacation to relax, but you do.
Yeah. You had a good vacation in Hawaii, I think.
Oh my God, we had a great time. We had a great time. It was just awesome. And I'll tell you, I was just thinking about it last night when I was falling asleep, how thankful I was that those two services that happened, I didn't have to do anything. Like I had to set it up, but I wasn't even awake.
You mean the Friday service?
No, the Saturdays when I was in Hawaii,
Oh,
that
right.
Steve did it and Afia did it, and I didn't have to do it. And it was, I thought, how fortunate. I don't know how many clergy people are able to do that as I don't know how, maybe they all do, but I can't imagine.
Well, those two services were excellent.
Shoot. I'm glad.
Different from you, which is fine.
Right, but I think that's the point.
Yeah, I do too.
What am I doing? Come on, Brian.
And I love Steve. He says, you know, when we got here, we wonder where we're going.
Yeah, and what do we do in between? Very well put. Okay, I do not have announcements this week. And yeah, I'm wondering if I like them because they give me a break, but I don't know that we really announce very much.
Well, you re-emphasize the regular stuff, which is fine.
Yeah. You had a good quote last week.
I had no idea that would make so much impact to so many people. It
was really It was great. All the other people had prepared. Do you know that?
Oh,
Yeah, I had told them all ahead of time. And I thought, well, look at Meg. She's just pulling it out.
listen, Rabbi, I went to graduate school. Give me a topic. I can talk for 10 minutes.
Well, it was good. Not everyone can do that, graduate school or not. All right, I got live transcripts on. I got this on. That.
I think I just admitted somebody.
Oh, good. Thank you. There's Steve. Hi, Steve.
Another wise rabbi.
Yeah, with purple hair.
Yeah. Oh, he's not got his purple hair.
Steve. Oh, his audio's still connecting.
Hey, Maria.
Good morning.
Oh, I got it, and it's working right. This is fantastic today.
Good when things happen that way.
Steve, we hardly recognize you. Your hair.
I know I didn't get it done last week because of the holidays. It's gonna be purple tomorrow.
Okay. I feel better.
It will be back. It's very light, so it's overdue. How are you guys? Everybody have a good holiday?
I did.
More or less.
All right.
Steve, why do you do your hair purple?
Wait a second. Why didn't you ask Maria what the heck's going on with her colors?
Well,
For
oh.
Abby, for one very simple reason. He's silly.
oh, good.
And Maria, you got the same reason going on?
Kind of. I mean, personally, I always believed that I was a redhead. It just didn't show up in my hair. So I started dyeing my hair red. And then, when I started working with kids, it's such a great icebreaker with kids. You just want to talk about your hair. It's like, you're cool, right? I want to talk to you.
Right. It gives you an entry.
I was worried at the behavioral health hospital that the teenagers would have supposed, but they didn't.
They know you're an adult they can trust. Or at least that you're not part of the system.
Yes.
How's your health, Maria?
Okay. All of my other tests turned out negative. They all came back fine. So I'm at the doctor's on Tuesday for a yearly, and I have a heart murmur.
Which means, are we concerned?
Well, she wasn't too concerned, but I am going for an ECG.
Okay.
Just to make sure. I mean, it's just rampant on my mom's side of the, on my mom's side, so it's not really a big shocker.
If you got to pick something to be wrong, that's good.
Yeah.
I love this power.
Oh, you're admitting people power?
Yes. Oh, wow.
As long as it doesn't go too far to your head, I think we're fine.
Emily, how's your husband? My husband is sleeping.
Okay.
And how are you? I see a new decoration on your face.
Oh, yes. This is the new look. I'm starting a new trend.
Good.
I thought you were going to paint it red. Wasn't that the discussion?
I know. What can I say?
It's all right. We it's all good.
Why does this look different here?
Oh, Lee, look at you. Did you color your hair? What? Did you color your hair? No. Well, I colored my hair more than a month ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, some of us are slow.
Oops.
The lighting makes it. The lighting makes it look like you joined our purple club.
Actually, it is purple.
Oh,
That's why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no.
You left the purple club. What's the deal?
Oh, it's growing out. I put off a haircut for a week because of the holidays. I'm getting it done Tuesday.
Oh, thank goodness. You know what I'd do if your hair wasn't purple? I'd probably make it. I'll probably be fine.
you think?
Probably could. But I really like it.
I do too.
Present.
All right.
Hi, Rosalind. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
hi.
Yes.
What's up with the nose, Emily?
Oh, well, I had a melanoma. They were
Oh,
I thought it was leprosy. He's saying it's leprosy. They won't believe me.
darn.
So,
Well, you are a doctor,
I'm
and
off on Tuesday. Thank God. It's been driving me insane. Just having this thing stick on you.
Then you suddenly, when you're looking at your glasses, you suddenly see your nose.
Yes, right. My dear friends, they put those clown noses on me.
All right.
Yeah, some people seem to have them right by their desk. So that was a quick, oh, here's my nose.
It's a little. Yeah. So if you on Tuesday, it was surprising the number of people who had clown noses within arm reach.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
It was multiple people. It was.
Mine's in the other room.
And
I feel slightly better, Steve. Oh, come on, Brian.
hi, Diana.
hello.
Oh, and there's Chad and Lisa in separate places.
Oh no! You guys gonna be okay?
I had to work today.
Okay.
Don't tell my boss I'm doing this.
Okay. We're not going to tell Lisa either.
Lisa, don't tell Chad's boss that you're in separate squares.
Morning, Kip. Good morning, Hugh. We're getting ourselves all ready here.
You look, you're really tiny, RB.
Oh, hold on. I'll fix that. I'll bigify myself.
I like that.
Think of five.
Uh,
We should have a dictionary that's just Rabbi Brian Quick.
Oh, we're going to be doing some words today.
Oh boy.
I don't know how it's going to go. But I don't think I ever really do.
Hi, Leanne.
My congregation really enjoyed the alphabetical exercise.
Oh, you did it as well.
Yeah, I did two lists. I did, we have sinned by, for the sin we've committed, and then for the mitzvah we have performed.
Well, that sounds like a good balance.
A positive and a negative inventory, and then let them off to God.
Nice. Because God couldn't read them while you were making the list.
What's
Well,
the Steve?
We wanted to turn it from an exercise into a prayer.
Yeah.
Stephen, what's a mitzvah?
A commandment, but an ordinary act that we raise to thinking has divine elements in it, is the way I like to say it.
Most people just say good deed, but if I were asked, I wouldn't be able to give a simple answer too. But as you asked Stephen, I can just give the simple answer.
But I would add a sacred note.
It's good. Hi, Gord. Gord, is there a fin nearby?
I'm just gonna say, where's your buddy?
There's a fin in the house.
That's good enough.
There's a fin in the house.
And I think we could see that fin swim on the screen at some point.
Okay. Annie likely also is in the house, but she was up way too late.
Hey, Marcus.
Good morning, Rita, Bobby, and Al, and Candace, Ron, Gord, Bob, Hugh, Kip, Sherry I didn't say hi to, Rosalind, Diana, Anne, Lee. I think I got everyone at least I've said hello to. It's dangerous if you start naming names because then if you leave someone out, you hear from them later. Rabbi, is everything okay between the two of us? Because I noticed you didn't say my name. Oh!
I have
Emil! Hi, you brought your mom. Very nice. Oh, I'm sorry. I oughtn't embarrass.
Oh, Helen's got a friend.
That's good. That's fantastic. We are almost at 8 o'clock, which means I'm going to do our... and everyone who's here already, play nice, because Alex isn't here to run the rest of it. So
Oh boy.
We
have some fun.
It's going to be live.
Oh,
All right, here we are. Good morning, good morning. Hi, I'm Rabbi Brian. It says so right there. And today is September the 18th, 2021. And this is the Saturday service. I am joined by you, whoever you are who's watching or listening, and all my friends who are out there in Zoom land. Friends on Zoom land, would you mind waving, saying hi? Woo! There we are, and we are broadcasting. I know there are some people who are watching on YouTube, some people are watching on Facebook. Glad that you guys are here. If you cannot hear on Facebook or YouTube, if you would please put something in the chat. We should still be able to see the chat. We had some audio issues last week. I'm glad that you're here, though. And if you're watching this after the fact, no spoilers. Well, right? Okay. Some of these things I think are much funnier than they wind up being, and that's all right. I have a few things I want to talk about this morning. I'm glad you guys are here. First, I wanted to say I was walking the dogs yesterday. That's what I wanted to say. No, I was walking the dogs yesterday, and while I was walking the dogs, I had this thought about this group, about this group of everyone who's here, and I thought, what a unique situation this is, in that we have all come together to have a religious service. We're all here to have a religious service, and there is no uniformity of religious belief.
We lost your audio.
You're muted, sir.
Now? Can you hear me now?
Brian, you're still muted.
Can we hear me now? The
I
heck?
haven't heard anything since religious service, Brian.
All right, hello.
You're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
No idea why that happened. Anyway, I'm glad to have told you that, and I think we can all take that as a moral for our times.
If we knew what it was, that would be good.
Yeah, I didn't actually say anything that exciting while I muted myself. Let me just give a quick check to see if I can get the speakers to work, the mic to work. We can hear me on this channel here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We can hear me here. And we can hear me and see me here. We can all wave on this channel. Okay, hi. Well, good morning if I didn't already say good morning to you. What I was trying to say before I accidentally muted myself was that this is a really unique religious service, in that we've all agreed it's a religious service, but there's no there's no uniformity. There's no we are all blankins or we are all something-ish.
We're definitely all blankins.
We're
That I think is the key to the whole thing, that we're all blankins.
that we are all, but the idea that we could have a community of people with such a disparate background. Oh, Alex is not here today, so a number of you are co-hostified. If you would mute the stray people, I do like people to have their microphones unmuted so that they can talk, but sometimes it does kind of get in the way. Anyway, I was really struck, and this point is going, I'm going to stop it here, is I'm really struck with the fact that this is a group of people for whom we have no uniformed dogma, creed, or even agreement that we are all Unitarians, Jewish, Catholic. We're not. And what a unique religious group it is that we are all of different backgrounds. Okay. Here's what I wanted us to start with. I wanted to start with a few things. And I wanted to say that there are some things that I wanted us to talk about. And it's not really a lot of things. It's, I wanted to look at these words. And I thought if we could make a chart from 0 to infinity, could you guys help me as a way of warming up this morning? What words that aren't quantifiable numbers. Like we have ordinal numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then we have things like, I don't know, I'll put here a dozen. A dozen is a specific number, but can you give me other ones that are either specific, non-specific, and tell me where do they go on this number line? And
A few.
few and a lot. Where on which side of dozen?
Ish.
Ish is not a space.
Few is on the 0 side of dozen.
Few is on the lesser side than dozen. Is few less than a lot? Or is a lot more than a dozen? So I'm going to put few in here.
Multitude.
Many.
Okay, many is going to go on which side? Between, I'm going to, A, B, C, D. Where's, many is going to go on the other side of dozen?
It entirely depends on context.
Okay, so many we don't know what to do with.
Okay,
I have I always say a crap ton.
A crap ton I think is going to be more up here.
a pinch.
A pinch is going to be very little.
Oh, a dash, yeah.
A dash?
Dash is good.
Brian, I've always been fond of shitload.
Shitload. I think shitload is going to be a little bit less than a crap ton.
Several.
Several. Oh, I like that one. Where's several going to go?
Less
In
than few.
between crap ton and shit ton? I don't know.
I think several's going to be.
More than few.
No.
Yeah, several's going to be down.
More than few.
Same as
Definitely more than a few.
I'm going to just.
More than a few and less than
Several is less than a dozen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say that again, Betsy.
A teensy bit.
Teensy bit is also going to be down in here.
I like teensy bit.
We seem to have a lot for a really small number and a lot for a really big number, but the middle seems quite empty.
How about a bazillion?
A bazillion? I think bazillion goes up here.
A handful.
How about he say some? How about a
That
quarter?
went-
Some?
A bushel and a peck.
Oh, and a hug around the neck.
That's actually very
Oh,
specific.
yeah.
Is a bushel is a real number?
It's a real
A bushel and peck are both
It is.
They're real
so is a dozen. Agricultural measure.
Okay. I thank you guys.
Yeah, but so is a dozen. Yeah.
Oh, you guys can't get all of them. Okay, so let me. I'm going to stop there. We're going to come back to this idea in a bit. I just wanted that to start as our warm up.
Yeah, I get that now.
Get our brains working.
We got our brains working in education. This is just our little warm up, and you'll see it's also a set induction because it will get us to where we're going to be going in a little bit. A few other things I wanted to review from last week. Last week we had a plethora. Thank you, fancy big word. It was less than a crap ton and more than a few. We had a smattering, if you would. We had a smattering of wisdom, and I think now, what I'd like to do is I'd like us to review what were some of those bits of wisdom that we got, and it might help your brain. If you weren't here last week, I'll accept a doctor's note or something like that. If you weren't here last week, perfectly fine. Of course, this is religion. You're free to make your own decisions. But last week we had a bunch of bits of wisdom that were shared, and I would love us to remind ourselves what were some of the bits of wisdom that were shared. And I'll start with naming some of the people who shared the bits of wisdom, and let's see if we can remember what they shared. I remember Meg shared something. And hopefully Meg can remember what it was she shared. But can someone else tell us what it was? Do you remember?
I wrote down, I make whatever choice I make the right choice.
Yeah, I make whatever choice I make the right choice is, and that not to regret so much. Give me another one. I know Kip shared something with us last week. You remember what Kip shared? He did share a poem, and there was a beautiful image of an angel being carried. What was the moral of that story? Did I go from like the easy questions to the hard questions way too fast?
Way too fast.
Way too fast. All right.
Oh, crushed angel, my sweet crushed angel by Hudson.
Yeah. And do we have a one sentence moral that we can put to that? Kip, can you give us a one sentence what you would say?
It's recognizes that it's difficult to interact with the divine, but it's okay. They'll wait.
Yeah.
Say that again.
It's difficult to interact and have a relationship with the divine, but it's okay. They'll wait.
Yeah. I scratched it down a little differently. Difficult, but not needing to be perfect when interacting with the divine, however we make sense of that. All right. Joe shared something with us. Anyone remember what that was? The moral of that story? Joe, do you remember what you shared last?
I do.
Can you remind us?
When you are feeling the pain, you're already in the process of healing by moving through it.
When you are feeling the pain, it means you're already healing. I think that's gorgeous.
Yeah, I noticed that with this.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we hope that you feel the pain.
May you pass through the pain.
May you pass through the pain.
Heal quickly.
May your suffering be less than your pain. I got that from my Buddhist friend Nagi. He said, pain is not optional, suffering is.
He hasn't stepped on a fire ant's nest lately.
Oh yeah. So if you're in the clubhouse, in the ROTB online community clubhouse, which you're welcome to join, we found out that Lee had a little oopsie with some fire ants, who got their comeuppance from a wrathful Lee with a vinegar and baking soda. And also, if you're in the clubhouse, we're right now playing Two Truths and a Lie. And golly gee, people have done I don't know which ones are lies, but some interesting things that people have been doing. Who else shared last week that we want to remember? Hugh said something gorgeous.
Yes.
Hugh, do you recall what it was you said, or somebody remind us?
It was a quote about us being surrounded by sacredness.
Yeah. And that the sacred is around us.
The precise quote on my refrigerator, which I read every day, because I need to be reminded of this every day, is the universe is full of magical things waiting patiently for our wits to grow sharper.
Yeah.
It fits in with the one that Kip had shared as well. Okay, fantastic. Was there someone who I left out who shared last week and I'm blanking on?
I've got one more unattributed quote. I don't know who shared it.
What'd you get, Stephen?
Be the person you want to be, regardless of what everyone else is doing.
Right, that was Alex said that. Of course, Alex said that. Be the best.
I wrote them down. I didn't write down who said them.
Be the best person you can be. Be the person you want to be. Regardless of what anyone else is doing. If you've just joined the service, it is now almost 8:15, and you've gotten the moral of the story. Like if you got one of these and you're taking that with you, congratulations, you fulfilled your religious duty of the week. There was some homework.
So easy.
Uh-oh.
Check, done.
I gotta check on you guys. Show of hands. How many of you have hands? Okay, good. Show of hands, how many of you knew that there was homework from last week? It was given out on Monday in the newsletter.
I wrote it down.
Okay, it's okay. We're not going for guilt. If you didn't get around to doing it, that's fine. Like, shit happens. We don't... But on Monday, I had asked everyone if they would on Friday. And Robin, I have a little note here to myself. Rob and Johnson, these stickers go to you. Because you rocked it in the clubhouse, in the online community clubhouse, by doing this for the people who were in the clubhouse. But the homework I had asked people to do was to tell 3 people something you like about them.
Oh, yeah.
How many of you completely forgot? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. How many of you intentionally forgot? Okay, one honest person. I appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to break into small groups. Uh-oh. Hold on. Alex isn't here, so it's going to take me a moment. There we go. We're going to break into small groups, and I'm going to ask you in the small group, and you might not know a thing about the person. This might be your very first time you're in a Saturday service, and that's fine. I'm going to ask you if you have choices. You can dig deep, look at that other person who's in your small group and say, hey, Shoshana, I don't know anything about you, but I sure like your glasses. I don't even know who in that box down below me, which is Shoshana. I got 2 people with glasses in it, so it was that one's Shoshana. And then I can say, and I like your sweater too. So I'm going to ask you, and if you know the person because you've been coming to this service for a while, I'm going to ask you if you can dig a little deeper than just the looks and the superficial and say something that you like about them. And if you don't want to participate at all, you don't have to. You can be a conscientious objector and say, I didn't want to do this exercise, and here's why. So in a moment, I'm going to send you all to this breakout rooms. And you're going to... I could tell you again what the assignment was, but I sure think it would be a lot easier and better if I heard from one of you. When you get into the small groups, what are 3 things you're going to do? It's all the same thing, but three things. What are you going to do?
What I like about you.
You're going to do what I like about you. And if it feels hella uncomfortable, that's interesting, isn't it? Isn't that interesting that you find it uncomfortable to tell someone what you like about them? Or maybe you're on the receiving end and it feels hella uncomfortable to hear from someone what they like about you. And we had learned Emily Fisher. Hi, Emily. Can you wave for a sec so we see you? There's Emily. Emily taught us that when you're given a compliment and you don't know how to take it in, just swallow. And see if you can't swallow in that compliment. I'm going to break you all into breakout rooms of about 5 people. We'll have about 6 minutes there, and then we'll come on back and see how that went. All right, here you go. Go breakout rooms. Stopwatch, go. And I am left here with Cousin Amy. Hi, Cousin Amy.
Hey, I finally got to join.
You're here.
I am.
I'm going to throw you... Oh, I see. That's why you didn't get sent into a room. Here you go. You're going to a room, my friend. Hi. Now it's just you and me. Are we still recording? Is this still live? Yeah, this thing is still on. Oh, I'm going to have to move Rob to a room in a second. Rob, are you here? No, everyone's assigned. Okay, it's just you and me. And I don't know anything about you, but I can tell you some things that I like about you. Here, let me assign Rob to this room. There he goes. What I like about you, well, I have the easy, obvious one, is that you have decided to look at your spiritual religious life. And you've decided to do it in a non-conformist kind of way. So I know that I like about you is that you're willing to try. And I know that I like about you is that you're seeking. And you know, you can't find unless you seek. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to find, But it's much harder. There's a great Chinese quote that says, you'll have to stand on the side of a mountain with your mouth open for a very long time before roast duck flies in. So I'd like you to take the compliment that you're taking a moment to explore your religious life. What else do I like about you? I don't know. Maybe you... What else can I think about you who I've never met, who's here listening to this service, watching this service? What I like about you? Well, I don't know exactly. So how about this? How about you send me an email? And that might be a little bit funny and awkward. How about you send me an email and say what it is that people do like about you, and I can... Hold on, I got to move somebody else to a room. One tech person shy today. Send me an email. Tell me what you like about yourself, and I'm going to reflect that right back to you. And if that feels weird, like you're bragging, I'm sorry to hear that. We're allowed to be proud of ourselves, right? Boy, do I feel like Mr. Rogers at this time. I do. I feel like Mr. Rogers right now. I feel like Mr. Rogers who... Hold on. Camera problems. I feel like Mr. Rogers in that I get to tell you that you're a wonderful person exactly as you are. That's pretty good. Well, they still got a minute and so left. Oh, and I got more people joining. This is not the easiest thing in the world to run a service. But I'll tell you, I much prefer to do this than any other service. Oh, you're supportive. I like that about you too. I like that you're supportive. And I bet you have a pretty strong sense of ethics, because people who look into religion usually have a pretty strong sense of ethics, that they know this is something that's right, this is something that I like, this is something that's worth fighting for. And I got more going on than I know what to do with at this moment. Oh, we're going to talk to the whole group of people about that in a second. Do you know about these? The little lottery tickets, raffle tickets? We give them out here at the service when someone's done something they're proud of. And that's our next thing that we're going to try doing. We're going to do in a moment. Hold on, I'm going to tell people that they got 60 seconds left. And then that they can come back and join you and me. Oh, and my daughter's joined. That's fantastic.
Whoops.
Welcome back, Robin. Did you come to collect your stickers?
I did not need to press the button. Hi.
Well, the unconscious is strong, isn't it?
It is.
Well, hi, Rob.
That just happened like all on its own. I reached up and pressed that button.
I think I told this to Kip yesterday. I saw a t-shirt recently and it said, in my defense, I was left unsupervised.
Absolutely.
If you had meant me not to change rooms, you shouldn't have put that button on the thing.
That's right.
Oh, now we got Shoshana and Calypso. Now I know who's who. Hi. Glad you guys are here. You can unmute yourselves if you feel comfortable enough. Wonderful. Glad you guys are here. The other rooms are closing off. And I got to do this really Mr. Rogers thing where I just talked to the people who are at home. And that was kind of fun.
Well, Mr. Rogers.
Hi.
Too short.
You're here. And welcome back. Was that too short again? That's the complaint I usually...
I was left unsupervised.
Yes, it was.
We were just getting into the groove.
Yes.
Very short.
Aren't you always supposed to leave them wanting more?
Apparently, I'm doing really well at that. Thank you, Rags, for coming to my defense on that one. Give me a little bit of what did anyone find that easier than they thought it was going to be?
I did.
On a scale of put your hands at the bottom of the screen right now. wherever your camera is. Put your hands at the bottom of the screen. On the scale of, this is the bottom, and then that's the top. On the scale of bottom of the screen to top of the screen, I would like to do that exercise again in the Saturday service. Let me see where you're at. I would like to do that again. Well, that's some good feedback. Okay, now, just for fun, everybody put your hands up. Let's do a little YMCA.
I can't do it.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Well, I'm glad you guys got to do that. And just one final follow-up question. How do you feel internally after having told people what you like about them? How many of you are in a shittier mood than you were before?
No.
Just none of you. Well, that's curious now, isn't it? I wonder, if you might want to do this on your own and do it more.
You're showing your screen with everybody else in it too, so we can hardly see you.
Oh, I'm here, Bob. Thank you, my friend. Here I am. So here I'm going to do my extreme close-up on me again, pondering. I wonder if that felt good to do, if I should do that again. Okay. I have been doing this with Jane almost every Friday night since we got married. Is every Friday night I look at her and I say, what I like about you is, and I try to give her 3 sentences. And the kids have grown up and they found out at some point that not everyone does this every Friday night. And we don't do it some weeks we missed. Last night, it was a complete bomb. We had something for Jane's work. And so I called 3 random, they weren't random. I called 3 people and I told them what they meant to me. And 2 of those 3 phone calls went really, really well. And one, it felt like they were taking care of me by listening to me more than I was giving them. But, whatever. Okay, homework. I'm a rabbi. So I'm fixated with Friday nights, and I would love for you Friday night between when you sit down for dinner and when you start eating to tell the people live in person or to text and call people and to tell 3 people what you like about them. We're going to come back next week and see how that went, all right? Okay, it's this time again, folks. If you're new here, that just looks like a lottery ticket. Hold on, I'm trying to focus in on it. There it is. And we give out lottery tickets here at Religion Outside the Box. We give out these little prize tickets, and I got a whole stack of them, so don't think you're taking the last one. We give prize tickets to somebody who in the last week has done something that they feel spiritual, religiously, they are proud of. And they want to tell us about it. And this is what a community is about. Community is about sharing. It's what we have in common. And if you share something that you're proud of, that becomes common. It becomes common between all of us. So is there someone who's proud of something they did in a spiritual, religious, they stood up for themselves, or they didn't say that obnoxious thing and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't say the obnoxious thing. I totally deserve a lottery ticket. Anyone got something for which they want to take it? Yeah, Lee, what do you got?
I didn't tell my executive director to go pound sand yesterday when we had a meeting, and she started complaining about my performance.
Good on you, Lee. Can we all? That's a good one. I'm gonna give you 2 for that. That's because I know you, Lee, and I know that was double hard.
Extremely hard.
Extremely hard. Anyone else have something they want to report in? Yeah, Robin.
Due to past experiences of mine, I've always had a difficult time claiming my body. And yesterday I got a tattoo on my foot.
You did?
Because it's my foot and I can.
Robin, can you show that to us? Is that physically possible?
I can try.
This is going to be a whole different show. Oh my gosh! Good on you. And good job. And Jeffrey Horner, hi, my friend. It looks like you've got somebody there with you.
Oh, Mary! It is. Hi, Mary!
So, Jeffrey and Mary, what?
Lovely, but
All right.
As a kid, as a young person, rioted and did lots of bad things, and then became president of a synagogue later in life.
All right.
As past president, he was on the Bima for Kol Nidre, and he started the tradition of passing the Torahs between the past presidents during.
Very nice.
And he is now the volunteer gabbai. He used to gabbai all the time, but now he gabbais for high holidays, and it's just so lovely to see my husband on the Bima.
That's lovely. And if you don't know, Bima means stage, and to be a past president or a gabbai, that takes, not only does it take knowledge and strength, and learning, but it takes unbelievable patience to deal with that many Jews on a regular basis.
That is so true.
I've been there, buddy. I've been there.
It's called chutzpah.
Good. We're gonna take a. I'm gonna take us to give a moment. And Joe, do you have a list of people for whom we've taken a tradition of saying some prayers for people?
I do. I don't know where the feedback is coming from, but I do have the list. Are you ready for me to read it?
Do it, my friend.
Okay. Amy, Ken, Alma, and family. Emily, Mike V, Michelle, Shelley, Zoe, Loretta and family, Ronald Lee Daniels, Lee's mom Carol, and Christina's congregation. They're going to be trying to meld the young and the old together.
Good luck with that.
Oh, amen. Well, let's take a minute of all these names and all the names of people who are not mentioned, and we're going to start a minute of silence right when this clock here gets to 8:32. Well, we pray for peace for all those who need peace, and as bad as it happens on Zoom, let's all say amen.
Amen.
Good. I don't want. I'm a little worried about what I'm about to ask, because let me ask it this way. I want to ask for someone who hasn't yet participated today, so we'll start that way. What's something that kind of irks you? What's something that's going on these days that you would put in the irk category? Something that maybe is a little bit on the annoying side of things? What is something that's irksome or annoying that's gotten to you? Taking answers from people. Diana, what do you got?
E is in my neighborhood, and they are cutting these ancient oak trees and leaving all the other slash from 2 and 3 and 4 years ago when we had a snowmageddon, and they're coming through and taking only the biggest trees.
Well, that is.
I'm in a lot of grief about it. I
Yeah.
just done oil painting to these trees, and when you talk to them, they say, "Well, what it is they're responsible if the tree hits their line and starts a fire. They're not responsible for 3 years ago slash that the neighborhood didn't. So they don't really care about that. In other words, they're not doing it to stop fires. They're doing it to stop lawsuits.
Oh boy.
I don't know what to do with my grief.
Well, that sounds like that's a really good one, and it's totally appropriate, and it's totally not going to fit in with where I'm going with this exercise.
That's real.
So
That's serious.
that's a serious. That's not just irk or annoyed. That's grief. It is irksome. It is annoying. But I'm looking for like what? Here, let me try a different word here. What is something that pisses you off? What's something that's totally pissing you off these days? Yeah, Finn, I saw a hand. Go for it.
There's a beautiful mountain range in BC called Fairy Creek or something.
What's that?
It's full of ancient grove trees.
Oh,
Years old.
Yeah.
And right now there's a battle between RCMPs and people who are blocking the trees with their bodies from the bulldozers.
yeah.
Again, this is horrible, and this is so not going the direction that I thought it was going to go. But, Finn, I thank you. I thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Marcus has something.
I got Marcus, and then Rosa and Frank. Marcus, what do you got?
People just not being kind.
That's the one I was that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. People not being kind. Amen. That one. Rosa and Frank, would you unmute yourself? Tell us what's getting you these days?
Too much schoolwork.
Too much schoolwork. That one could possibly work with where I'm going. Eileen, and then I'm going to tell you where I was going, and then maybe we'll fill in from there.
I try to be a patient driver. Somebody's slowing down, and then they turn. No blinking. Just use your blinker.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. Anyone and I was going to have us the same way that we put things in order of some, a few, many, a lot. I think irk, annoyed, pissed off. I can add outraged. Anybody having any issues? Maybe it's just because I'm living in hippie Portland. Anyone else having a hard time with the way other people are dealing with COVID? Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Is there, maybe, here, wait, I got another one here. Anyone, I'm going to add this one on here. And moral,
Indignation.
how did you know? Indignation.
Because I have a nose.
You do. Here's, I'm going to bring us up a quote for today. Moral indignation. Anybody here feel slight moral indignation about a few things going on in the world?
Yes.
Just about everybody? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to before we get there, I'm going to go back and review a tool that we've used. This is Eli Goldratt's change matrix. We've done this in the past, and if you're new, I think you'll catch on pretty quick. It goes like this. In every situation, there are four options. There's either we change, delta being the Greek symbol for change, pay attention kids, or not change, there's a little slash through the delta. This is change, this is not change. And for every situation, things can either be positive or negative. And I want to talk today about being judgmental. And I'm going to put judgmental down here, that right now, as far as, would we all assume that being judgmental is probably a negative thing?
Yeah.
Not always.
Not always.
Can be.
Okay, let's not be too smart here. Let's just go with the grand overall.
Sure. Yes. Judgmentalism
So-
is inappropriate.
So I'm going to just do a little plug for my ego here. One of the things that's really fun about this service is it's new and fresh every week. One of the downsides is I never quite know how it's going to go. if we don't change, we assume we have this negative of being judgmental. If we were not so judgmental about how things were, and we changed, what would we be if we weren't judgmental? And I'm going to put angry, pissed off, irked, annoyed, outraged, moral indignation are all things that are here. If we weren't that, we would be, what would be up here? What would be a word or two that you would put for if we weren't being judgmental, we would be?
Grateful.
I heard graceful, happy, peace, accepting. Those are all good things. Now, what Goldrat's matrix here shows us is that we have two empty boxes still.
You'd be forgiving too.
You would be forgiving. Yeah. That's a good one to go with. Thank you, Rob. Oh, and some of you might notice that I know some people's voices, and I might not know yours. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't participate too, because I'd love to know your voice as well. We'd be forgiving. I love that. If, on the other hand, if we became forgiving, grace-filled, happy, peaceful, accepting, there might be some negatives that come along with that we don't have currently. Right now we're judgmental, angry, irksome. If we were to become less judgmental, graceful, happy, peaceful, accepting, forgiving, we might now have a problem we've never had before.
Taken advantage of.
Yes.
No consequences.
Unsafe.
We might be unsafe. We might be taken advantage of.
Not get what we want.
Oh, we might taken advantage of. We might not. Yeah, we might not get what we want. The judgmental people get things, and we might not. We might be doormats.
I like Finn's response.
Tell me, what was that? What was Finn's response? I missed something.
Apathetic.
If we're not judgmental, we might be accused of not giving a shit.
It's vulnerable.
Oh, I like that one. If we were not to be judgmental, we would have to show that we... I'm off the page here.
Yep.
Vulnerable. Oh, and thank you, Lee, for taking notes as always. Joe, thank you always for taking the chat. Appreciate that. And how about here? And this one's really interesting. This is always my favorite square. Being judgmental, we get a positive to it that we would give up if we stop being judgmental. And the example from this one, the one that I always understood it with best is Janie, and I was running a service, we were talking about gossip. And Jane said, if I stop gossiping, I'd lose that warm, oozy, good feeling. Right? Right? There's a sense of superiority when you gossip. If you are judgmental, you get what is the hit that we get when we're judgmental? We get to feel. Sorry, I'm going first on this one because I didn't want to lose the word haughty. We get to be self-righteous. We get to be, yeah.
We get to feel smart.
We get to feel smart. We get to feel self-righteous. We get to feel strong.
Don't have to do anything.
We get to feel right. Yeah, we don't have to deal with change if we don't change. That's a good one. That's an always. We get comfort. Isn't being judgmental comfort?
Yeah.
For some of us, Rags, give me something else. What do you got?
Oh, being judgmental doesn't make me comfortable.
Tell it does not make you comfortable.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable.
In the long run, but I would think in the short run, it feels so good that it's like drugs. It felt good at the time.
It's considered in some 12-step groups that it's sort of a drug.
Okay, yeah.
I can definitely
You
see
feel
that.
safer. If you
Yeah.
don't change.
Okay. Now, I'm going to move us to...
Part of the community, part of
of a community that thinks the way you do.
Yeah. You get to be part of a group. You get group cred. Uh-oh. I got some quotes today. I'm going to read them each out. I don't think I had... I forgot to copy them to put into the chat, so just deal with that. We're going to start with the one right here, Rumi, on the top left. Rumi said, "Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When souls lie down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Out beyond our ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there." And then Chuang Tzu on the right side. Chuang Tzu is a great, one of these holy rascal people. He said, "Unawareness of one's belt is a sign of pants that fit." Yeah, right? You don't notice your pants are fit. You don't notice if somebody's a good driver. You only notice when they're a bad driver. Unawareness of one's feet is a sign of shoes that fit. Totally. I don't notice my feet unless they hurt. Unawareness of right and wrong is a sign of a mind at ease. Now, most people have no problem with the first two parts of that quote. It's that third part that kind of kicks us in the tuch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try this last one by H.G. Wells, and this is the one that got me onto this topic today. Moral indignation is jealousy with a halo. Moral indignation. I had thought the quote was, I thought it was a much better, easier to digest quote. I thought the quote was, moral indignation is often jealousy with a halo. But I looked it up. It's not often. He said is. Moral indignation is jealousy with a halo. Let's talk about those other drivers who don't use their blinkers and kind of swerve through traffic. And God damn it, they shouldn't do that. Don't they understand? Da, 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 da. Can you understand if I'm going off about the other people in the other cars and I'm morally indignant about them? Could you possibly guess at where my jealousy is?
You want to be just like them.
I want to not give a shit.
Yeah, you want to have the confidence.
I want to have their, right? Or the kids who are walking around, yeah, they're wearing masks, but they're wearing them under their fucking noses.
Yeah.
Or on their chin. Yeah, I got a mask on. No, you don't, dumbass.
Hard to smoke with a mask on.
Can you understand? Now try this one on, and I think it might be easier if we look at me first. Can you understand why my moral indignation about those kids might be jealousy?
Yeah, you want to feel safe.
I want to feel safe. I want to feel as safe as they feel. I can't.
I was going to say that it's very freeing in a way to not have the obligation to other people. Not that I want that, but it's...
I want that freedom too, Jess. I want to not give a I want to be all about me. And I can't. So I'm going to take the high road and scoff at them. Ugh. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
When moral indignation is important, when they were talking about tearing down the oak trees.
Yeah, that's why I said those examples were really going to mess me up.
Right, because that's a real point of, yes, I have moral indignation, and it's righteous moral indignation.
Yeah, I got you.
When they put in the oil pipelines.
Yeah.
In the Indian land.
We better be morally indignant. We better be upset about that, and we better do something.
There's a time when it's correct to be morally indignant.
When it's wrong not to.
I agree.
But that's a
And well, go ahead. Maria, was that you?
No, that's a judgment.
Oh, thank you.
When it's right to be morally indignant.
Yes.
It's a judgment when it gets to be morally indignant. Thank you, Sari. And Michael, you got your hand up?
Yeah, do you feel like this is pointing towards unconditional love or acceptance for everyone, even?
No, come on. I would hate to be the kind of religious figure who said anything that's like we should all be going towards. Yeah, I think that's exactly it, Michael.
Make up your mind.
No, okay. The first time I was being. Okay, so I was being sarcastic. I apologize for that.
It was a beautiful sarcasm.
So, can we see now? I'm not saying we shouldn't fight against the oil pipeline. We should, and I'm not saying we shouldn't be morally indignant that they're taking down the old growth trees because they want to make a buck and they're not taking responsibility. We should be. But there is also underneath those ones some jealousy.
Say it, yes.
There is some jealousy of, what the fuck, man? How dare you do that when I feel a responsibility to the whole community?
Yeah.
There is some jealousy that they can put profits over people. And we wish we could do that too. I don't wish we could do that, but we wish we had that kind of freedom. Power. Okay, there's a poster right over there. Hold on.
It's hard to see it from here.
There, it's in the corner. You can hardly see it. It's a Jimi Hendrix. And Jimi Hendrix said this. Jimi Hendrix said, when the love of power is crippled by the power of love, we will know peace.
Oh, wow. Say that again.
There's the love of power that needs to be crippled by the power of love. Yes, we should be morally indignant. We should stand up for what's right. And we should say, excuse me, young man, would you please cover your mouth? I don't feel safe. We should still work for the greater good and strap ourselves to trees. But I lost the part. So you finished the rest of what I was going to say and make it sound really good. Okay.
You're saying there's a difference between doing the right thing and being morally outraged by it.
That. Right? Do the right thing and watch your moral indignation. It's not pretty. And how are you ever going to convert somebody over to your way of thinking? By yelling at them? That doesn't work. And I can prove it doesn't work this way. When was the last time you were convinced of something by someone yelling at you?
Never.
You weren't.
Definitely not yesterday when my executive director was here.
Right. The only way that we're going to convince someone, and again, call me a liberal religious freak, is by love. And leaving that hatred, we can still stand up for what's right, but leaving the hatred part out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta love her.
Oh, I missed something on my we're almost at time here. I missed something. I do this little thing. It's called the God drop. I like to mention the word God in the religious service for tax reasons. I thought that was funny, but okay, fine. You know, it often helps if you laugh or make some response, then I can know. Okay.
Who are they?
Oh, now I lost. Oh, the God part. Here's the little God drop. This is a quote from Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Katz, the Katzker Rebbe, as we call him, the Rabbi Mendel Menachem of Katz. He asked this. He said to a group of people, "Where is God?" And they answered, "God is everywhere. The whole earth is filled with God's glory." And Mendel Menachem of Katz said, "No. God is only wheresoever we make room for God." Where is God? Wheresoever we make room for God. And I can tell you where we do not make room for God is when we have our jealousy with a halo, when we're filled with righteous indignation. We're not making room for God. We're filling ourselves up. Rita, yes, ma'am.
I heard a quote this week that somehow comes in with this. It was that forgiveness is the ultimate freedom.
Forgiveness is the ultimate what?
Freedom.
Forgiveness is the ultimate freedom. Amen.
Yeah.
And there's Dalai Lama said, and it brings us into judgment. He said, the lack of judgment is love.
Amen.
Amen. All right. So you all have some homework. Anybody make notes of what your homework is? Part of it was to do it on Friday nights. What was that?
Tell 3 people.
Tell 3 people things you like about them. And then if you're taking this for advanced placement credit, you're gonna, I don't know, like some of you are just going for a passing grade. That's fine. If you want even more, start telling people what you like about them and see if that doesn't change how you feel. Because most of you said that when you told people what you liked about them and you heard what they liked about you, you felt better. So try that. That's homework. Another piece of our homework was another piece. I don't know. I didn't actually have anything in mind. I thought maybe somebody would have had something there. I'll give you the other one. Is this last part of what we were just talking about. Watch out in your moral indignation. Check out your jealousy pieces. Check that out and see if that doesn't deflate a little bit the heat in your judgment so that you can approach the other person without that smug ugliness. You know, I'm really kind of jealous that you feel you don't need to wear a mask. Can you imagine saying that to someone? Okay, you try that and then come back to us next week and see how that goes.
That sounds so sarcastic.
It does sound sarcastic?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Get hit.
Yeah.
Okay, don't try that then. You know what I like about you is that you don't give a shit and you don't have to wear a mask. No, that doesn't work either. That sounds worse. We're not doing well. All right, guys, we are coming up at 9 o'clock. And what happens if you haven't been here before is I leave and people go into different groups. And Maria, where's Maria? There's Maria. Maria has taken on the very difficult job of setting up different rooms. And so after the service, we do kind of like you would in a regular social hall. And we have different communities set up, and you can hang out with Joe and Maria in what's called Donut World, which is, we don't have real donuts, we just talk donuts. And there's Kip and Al often run something called Deep Dive, which is where we take the idea, and probably today they're going to go into this idea of judgment and where it comes from, what to do with it. And then there's a poetry room that is not always open, but you're welcome to go there if you have a poem you want to share. Our usual ringleader of that, Katie, is not able to be there today. And then there's also there's a room called Wild West, and nobody knows what the hell happens in the Wild West room. So people are already moving to those rooms. If you want to stick around, please do. Oh, look at that. Maria, you are on top of this. Thank you all.
Yeah, I hope so.
And then I go bye-bye. Bye-bye. And I stop the recording. I don't even know why it's not recording. Live broadcast in progress. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? I don't know why it's not stopping. Arrange all windows. Well, I'm going to just quit. Where's the recording button? There, recording. Show recordings. There it is. Now I say finish.